Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're having a good Thursday. Welcome to the stream. Today, I thought I would try and finish off Case 5 with Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishment. I did play Case 4 yesterday, which was actually quite short. I did look at the previous streams, which I did ages and ages ago, and they were like 3 hours long or so. Let me just get into game actually. There we go. Um, so they were like three and a half hours long, which were I done a good while ago. But yesterday's was just shy of 2 hours, or just 2 hours on the dot, or whatever it was. And we managed to get it right. We managed to get the correct answer. Which is good, but I spent like the last 20-25 minutes of the stream yesterday just kind of like deliberating with myself, just trying to figure out if I actually wasn't going along the right lines of how I should be thinking. Turns out I was thinking correctly, which was good. But yeah, it was a good stream yesterday actually. I don't know how long this one's going to be. Hopefully it should take about 2.5 hours maybe. But we will see. We will see. In terms of games, I did actually write down a list, which I don't have on me at the moment, of games that I'm going to be hoping to be streaming in the next couple of weeks, couple of months or whatever. All I know is, for not definite, but like kind of in the pipeline, is Alien Isolation in October, which should be fun. I've been meaning to do that for a good while. I have played it very briefly, and I've watched people play it before. Not properly watched it because I didn't want to kind of give stuff away or whatever, but it's kind of been like second monitor content really. And then I think I actually may, fingers crossed, go to Alan Wake for the next streams. It was said in the last stream as well about U-boat, so I do try and have a U-boat campaign as well at the same time. Just maybe do that like maybe once a week or every other week or whatever, where usually we'll do a campaign starting off in 1939. So for those who don't know, U-boat, it's a submarine simulator game where you basically man a crew of 5, 6, 7 people, all with their own different job roles and whatever, and you kind of have to go like manual calculations with torpedoes and stuff. You were based in like as a German U-boat at the start of the war, or you can start like in the middle of the war, or the late of the war, whatever. And you essentially have to try and do as much damage as you can. I don't know why a light switch flickered then in my house, but no, never mind. Hey, Hooded. So yeah, you essentially kind of go through trying to do as much damage as you can to the Western forces. So like not at start with the US, but more like the UK, France, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's really interesting. It's really interesting. We'll be jumping into that at some point in the near future. We'll be starting a new campaign. I do have a campaign going on at the moment, but there has been a big update, and I think it was like a proper release of the game because it was in beta for like a long time. So we will be looking at that very soon. Alan Wake. I want to get through those. It was mentioned yesterday in the stream. So one of the games I streamed last year was a game called Control. If you've not played it, it's great. It's really good. But in the game, Alan Wake, bit of a spoiler, Alan Wake makes an appearance for a very brief moment. Now, I've never played them. I don't know anything about them, anything about Alan Wake. But all I've heard is it's a great game. So I am going to do that soon. In my own time as well, I am trying to get through all the Final Fantasy games, like main series games as well. I'm currently on Final Fantasy 6, which is good. They are really, really good. These are like the pixel remasters. But it's kind of hit the point now where I'm like, oh Christ, like it's become a bit heavy because I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I went to the 4 after years for those who know Final Fantasy, and then 5 and then 6. So it's technically 7 games on the bounce with Final Fantasy, and it's very similar gameplay. Each game lasting about 20-25 hours or sometimes 30. It's a big project that I've kind of done there. So after number 6, I'm going to take a bit of a break with Final Fantasy and then kind of go into it again in the near future, but just kind of like go through it quite slowly. But they are good though. I am enjoying it. So yeah, but today, today's case, I don't know what it's called again. I forgot. It is the Kew Gardens drama. So in these cases that we've done, well, I say this is the 5th case. I think altogether we've had 3 of them correct, 1 of them not correct. The one that was correct, I got the Fate of Black Peter correct. This one I believe I got wrong. I'm pretty sure I got that one wrong, and I'll look back on one of the YouTube videos a little bit later on just to confirm that, but I'm pretty sure I got that one wrong. I'm sure I got that one right, and I got that one right yesterday, so that's really good. So today we're going to go to the Kew Gardens drama, and yeah, but yeah, yeah, that's it really. Yeah, so let's have a look. I might even go back as well. I might even go back to do the ones I did incorrectly just for the achievements on Steam. I know they don't mean anything as really, but yeah, I might do it. I might do it. They're good games, these are. These are good games.
Holmes, for heaven's sake, whatever's going on?
Oh, hello, Watson. You're early. Did you kill all of your patients?
What? Holmes, where have all these wretched bees come from?
I increased the temperature of the room so as to prevent them from hibernating. I needed to take a sample of honey. But it worked, Watson. We will have honey all year round.
Ridiculous and dangerous.
They're domestic bees, Apis mellifera, such industrious workers. Anyway, Watson, I am sorry, but I must leave you. I'm in rather a hurry.
You have a new case?
Yes, but nothing as thrilling as this experiment. A theft of plants at the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew. I'm helping a minister who's an old friend of mine. You can join me if you like.
Well, I'll admit that I'd far rather accompany you than remain alone here with these workers of yours. Besides, you'll need a helping hand with the flowers you're intending to bring back.
Watson, however did you guess?
For the great Sherlock Holmes to bother with the theft of plants. Come on, admit that you're planning to spoil your little bees with some rare pollens.
Since when did I become so transparent? Let us go.
Okay. Before we do this, I do have to make sure that I've got my audio back up to what it was before, which was about there. I know it was a little bit quiet yesterday at the start of the stream. So let's have a look where we've got to go. Find the stolen plants in the last exhibition of Kew Gardens. So, okay, yeah. So this is how we can see. So the Fate of Black Peter, we got that one correct. Riddle on the Rails. Oh, we got that one correct as well. Okay, so it was Bloodbath. No. Wait. I'm sure I got one of these wrong. Yeah, I'm sure I got that wrong. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I think I might have got it wrong, but then put it right to say, just to say that we'd done it. So let's go to the map, and we're going to go to Kew Gardens. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing well today. Everyone's having a nice chilled day. For those in the UK, it is absolutely blistering hot, and the game has just crashed. Lovely. That's a good start, isn't it? That's karma. Hey. I've done nothing. There we go. Complain about the heat. I'm not complaining about the heat. I'm saying it's nice. I'm saying it's blistering hot. It's nice. And let us go. I've not had this crash before, I don't think. Okay, so we've had all this done. Let us... Nope. That was happening a lot in the last stream. Oh, that woman just does not move. Right, let's have a look at this. Kew Gardens. Right, so there'll be no deductions here. Oh. Bit jittery, isn't it? Bit jittery. Is the game okay? Or was it just that loading screen? Okay, no, I think we're okay.
Well, Holmes, here we are at the Royal Botanic Gardens. There's no doubt that this place is beautiful. But are you really intent on investigating the theft of the plants?
Yes, of course.
What are we doing, Holmes?
Let us find someone who could help us.
Okay. See what these gentlemen are.
Don't touch anything else, is that clear? Just go and get a bucket of fertilizer, and without turning it over this time. Good day to you, gentlemen. How may I help you? If you are here for a visit, please do come back on Sunday.
I am afraid that it cannot wait. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson. We are investigating the theft of plants that took place here 5 days ago. A remarkable collection, I believe.
So you're the one in charge, eh?
A small favor for a friend. Now, to whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
I am Martin Hamish. I am the Deputy Director of Kew Gardens, and that fellow yonder is Albert. He works here.
I am delighted to meet you. What can you tell us about the plants?
They were rare and exceptional plants. We presented them at our last exhibition. We haven't removed the stand yet. It is still in the large glass house. We only learned of their disappearance the evening after the exhibition, and nobody saw anything.
No doors were forced?
No, but I would imagine that for a thief it would be fairly easy to gain entry, for there are no guards here.
Well, if you don't mind, we will take a look. Now, you say that it is in the large glass house.
Yes, the one just behind me. Just a second, since Albert has nothing else to do. Albert, show these gentlemen where the exhibition was held.
How many people work here?
Only myself, but occasionally 2 students, Albert, whom you have met, and Miss White.
Here it is. This is the place where the stolen plants were exhibited.
Thank you. Is there something the matter?
Yes, there is. All right, the plants were valuable and rare, but it seems to me that the tragedy that took place here only 2 days ago has been entirely forgotten already.
What tragedy are you referring to?
The director of Kew Gardens, Mr. Montague Dunn, he died here just 2 days ago.
We're very sorry. We were not aware. The two of you were good friends?
He was my father.
Oh dear. Our condolences. We should not be troubling you. Please do excuse us for the intrusion.
You say that he died here, in the large glass house.
Holmes?
Yes, just here, near the door to the colonial collection. he suffered a heart attack. Just like that. So suddenly. It was terrible. Excuse me, gentlemen, but I cannot remain here. If you need me, I'll be in the reserve. That's the room next to the front of the large greenhouse.
Of course, we understand.
Okay, this got a little bit more interesting. So,
The plants were here. All of them were stolen.
Do not touch.
let's have a little mooch.
Here is a list of the stolen plants.
Okay. Anything else? I want to talk to Watson yet. Have a look at these plants on display. No. Okay, so that's just a watering place.
According to Albert, this is where his father, Montague Dunn, was found dead.
Okay.
Soil. It should have come from a flower pot.
Right, you got some
The
dirt
soil
here.
on the side of this flower shelf is the same as that on the ground.
Right.
Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here.
Okay. Blood.
This sign is broken. Something heavy was dropped upon it. Someone fell violently against this sign, and they were injured in the clash. Most likely a head wound.
Okay, so let's have another look around with this. So we got stuff going on with the door. It looks like it was...
The door was smashed
Yeah.
at shoulder height.
And the
This
handle.
door handle is new. It was recently changed. The esconson was breached near the handle.
Okay.
The door was forced from the inside of the Colonial Collection Room. The handle was changed afterwards.
I think we need to inspect the Colonial Collection Room.
Okay, so...
Very strange. Half of the Colonial Collection is absent.
So we've
The
got some
smell is strong.
detergent.
It is a detergent.
And we got a stone chip. Let's rotate it.
This broken fragment was the result of a heavy blow. A fragment of marble, most likely chipped from a statue or sculpture.
Yeah, okay. So is there any statues or sculptures lying around, or what's these? Nothing of... Guys, look at this. Ellie, that's
These
like something out of
plants
your
come from
drawer.
all the territories of the British Empire.
Anything else to kind of look at around here? So we got that. This broken pot.
This pot was broken fairly recently. A flower pot recently fell down from these shelves and was misplaced.
Okay. Can I go out here? Going through there. Is there anything over here that we can kind of look at? No.
Dry tropics.
Excuse me, Watson. Thank you very much. I don't know if anything in here is going to be useful. These pots. Right.
These flower pots are beautiful. The symbol is not from Kew Gardens.
Okay. Yeah, there's not going to be anything else in here, I don't think. So we'll just move on. Anything with the fertilizer? No. Have we got anything over here?
Dry tropics.
Dry tropics? Nothing there. Okay, so
There is a smell of burning.
okay. So let's have a look. Fireplace. Broken pots. Is this the...
The symbol is not from Kew Gardens.
Yeah, okay. We've got the
remains
picture
of a
frame.
picture frame.
A gas mask.
A protective mask. Someone
Singed.
set it alight, but it did not burn.
Right, okay, so... Is there anything else? We've got the burnt broom. And the door handle, that was
broom
the
handle was
one that
half
needed to be
burnt.
replaced. Okay, so...
Door handle? Why would anyone throw such a thing in the fire? The door handle to the Colonial Collection and that of the fireplace are made of the same material.
Piece of
Plants
plant.
were set alight fairly recently. Some have not completely burned.
Okay. So what's the point? What's the point of burning all that? Especially there as well, like on site. Alright, maps, Kew Gardens. Right, where are we? We've got...
Water lily greenhouse. Palm house.
Right, we're here. We've got the
Nursery.
nursery. Seed house
Seed
here.
house.
The ventilation system.
Ventilation system.
We've been through the dry
Dry
tropics.
tropics.
And the colonial collection. Okay, so the
Director's
office,
office, cloakroom, and laboratory.
and I think that's it. We've just got the
Reserve.
reserve here. We're here. Don't think.
A map of
Oh.
Kew Gardens.
Okay, so there's nothing else here. So we've got the, on this map it says we're here. We were right by the nursery and the director's office. So let's go through. We can't look in there. Maybe go into, maybe let's have a chat with him first. See what he's got to say. Yeah, he didn't mention the death. He didn't mention the death at all. But let's do a deduction on him. So we can check his glasses. His collar is dirty. His dirt there. He's he's unmarried, and his gardener's hands. Okay. So, Dunner's
Albert
death.
told us about the tragic death of Mr. Dunn, the late director of Kew Gardens.
Tragic indeed. His heart attack was quite unexpected.
But why didn't you tell us about it?
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Okay. So we've checked all this. This is no problem. Yeah, we've checked all this, so there's nothing here. Let's go in the...
Locked.
Oh, we can't go in there yet. Okay. I assume this was going to be locked as well. Yep. Right, so our task is find the stolen plants, examine the place where Montague Dunn had met his death, and then examine the colonial collection. So let's go back into there now. So I think it was through here. Yep.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
Palm house. Housekeeping tasks. Let's have a look at this.
A task list for Albert, compiled by Martin Hamish. Sweep out the Palm House, scrub the toilets, clean the storage shed tools.
It's almost like Hamish is bullying him in some capacity. Like, his dad's died 2 days ago, and he's, you know, he's kind of grilling him a little bit, so it's a bit suspicious. Right, let's do a little bit of a deduction here. So we got the, it looks like he's got his eyes, which are all bloodshot. Which we know. He's got the plaster on his chin. And his hands, he's got clean hands, okay. Nothing else we can really look at there. So do you work here?
Do you work here?
Yes, but part-time only, for I'm also studying botany at the University of London.
You're following in your father's footsteps, then. That is commendable.
Well, even if botany is not my strongest suit, there are people who say that I could be a good manager.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Okay, so.
Palm House.
What's all this? Oh, nothing there. Anything on this table? Doesn't look like it. Okay, so there's nothing in the Palm House.
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
Okay, I'm not sure if that's going to be worth knowing.
According to this,
Yeah, okay,
they have
so
light
every single
and
house will probably
moisture
have this.
control in some parts of the building.
Okay. So there's something else here. I've got the footprints.
The traces are thinner in some places. These boot marks are fresh. It appears as though someone was dragging their feet. The footprints reveal that someone staggered here.
Okay.
All the clues around here are quite suspicious. I need my imagination to make sense of it all.
Okay, so are we going to do a... Yeah, so I think what we're going to do now, we're going to have a... We're going to reconstruct it in our head. Okay, so... We have the breaking of the door. Knocking over the pot is next. Falling. Do you have anything else going on? That all seems pretty standard. Yeah.
This reconstruction reveals a disturbing fact. Montague Dunn damaged the door of the Colonial Collection Room.
He was in a panic, or the door was locked. Was it an accident, or a murder then, I wonder? I think we need to inspect the Colonial Collection Room.
Okay, so we've got to do some more in here. By the looks of things. We've got all the plants here. We've looked at all this. Nothing here. What else have we got going on? Okay, so it's in here. We've got to inspect a little bit more. So, if the door was locked, to the glory of the colonial empire.
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
So he was in here. He had a panic. Window panes.
These windows were perfectly cleaned. Part of this greenhouse was emptied. and thoroughly clean.
Right, okay. So, let's bring up our deductions here. So this is the empty colonial collection and Dunn was trapped. We do know this. So, performing an autopsy on Montague Dunn, the death is suspicious. Why had he forced the door of the colonial collection room? Why had someone cleaned and emptied the room? Was it a trap or simply an accident? So, perform autopsy. So, we've got to go and do that now. So, I think we've got to go make our way to Scotland Yard. Let's go there now. Okay, continue.
I asked Inspector Lestrade to take Montague Dunn's body to Scotland Yard.
It's ready for autopsy then.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we've got the evidence room there, and then I believe it's in here downstairs. Right, let's inspect this body.
First of all, let us carry out an external examination.
Okay. So the face, he's got a cut
There is
on
an
his
injury
forehead.
to the skull, most probably caused by the fall in the water lily greenhouse.
His
The vessel
eyes.
and the pupil of the eye appear quite normal.
Right. Okay. Nose and mouth.
The air from the lungs carries a faint floral aroma.
So maybe he breathed something in then. His face is sorted. His
There are no
chest.
suspicious marks upon the chest. Let us finish our external examination so that we can proceed with the autopsy.
Okay. So we've got our right arm. Skin.
No redness, stings,
Okay.
or bruises.
His left arm.
Nothing suspicious here. Now,
Is it?
let us examine the internal organs.
Okay. So we're going to have to cut the guy open. So we've cut the guy open. The lungs. Alright. Ooh.
The lungs are congested and edematous. The tissue on the inferior lobe of the right lung is damaged, most probably caused by toxins from an unknown plant.
Okay. His heart.
The heart's blood vessels show no pathological signs.
So it wasn't a heart attack that he had.
The heart tissue shows no visible pathological signs.
His liver.
The liver tissue is brown. There are no visible pathological signs.
And the liver consistency.
The liver is enlarged. It would seem that he was suffering from an alcohol addiction.
Okay. And then his stomach is.
The stomach tissues show no visible pathological signs.
Is it swole? Is it swollen?
There is a small amount of content. It appears that he breakfasted lightly, only a short while before his death.
Okay. Right, so it's just the lung that's the thing that stands
Suspicions
out.
have been substantiated. Montague Dunn, the director of Kew Gardens, died from poisoning. Plant poisoning, to be more exact.
You mean
Yes, it is murder.
we should inform Lestrade?
Yes, but do remember, Watson, that I discovered the murder. The challenge is mine.
The challenge, Holmes?
We need to locate that deadly plant. Such a perfect murder appeals to me.
Murder of any kind appeals to you. Is that all we need to do?
No, we also have the people working at Kew Gardens. Martin Hamish and the son of the victim, Albert Dunn.
And also Miss White, of whom we spoke with Mr. Hamish. Should we bring them all here for interrogation?
No, a few innocuous questions at Kew will suffice, as well as a discreet delve into their personal affairs. Yes, Watson, it is time now to open the doors.
Even those in the staff building. I suppose that is necessary.
We should also be concerned with the victim himself. After all, we don't know very much about Montague Dunn.
You're enjoying this already, aren't you?
More than a little.
Okay. So, our deductions here, we got poisoning and Dunn was trapped. So, we knew this anyway. So Dunn was poisoned after being trapped in the Colonial Collection room by the killer. Montague Dunn was affected by inhaling a vegetal poison. Okay, so that's kind of obvious that from what we've seen. Right, so let's go to Kew Gardens again. So let's just make our way from here. Yeah, it's jittery, isn't it? I don't know if it's supposed to be like that because you're riding the back of a horse and carriage, but I've never noticed it really before. Don't think. In fact, actually, yeah, we should probably talk to him and say, "Can you open up?" Relationship with Dunn.
As Deputy Director, how was your relationship with Montague Dunn?
To be honest with you, Mr. Holmes, it could have been better. You see, every Tuesday he would carry out his inspection of the gardens, but it was solely to make an impression, great pretense that he cared at all. He would give out absurd orders, ignoring anyone else's opinion. He would then disappear for the rest of the week. He was what some might call a man of action. I'd say rather he was overzealous and chaotic. So after all, it was no wonder, perhaps, that he ended up like that, if you take into consideration his kind of lifestyle.
Lifestyle?
You mentioned that Mr. Dunn led a particular lifestyle.
You mean his drink?
Well, it's no secret that he enjoyed, celebrating, shall we say. He was a member of the London Smart Set. He was famous for it. That
And?
He had an eye for the ladies, to put it mildly, Mr. Holmes.
Right. Okay. The emptied colonial room.
Mr. Hamish, can you explain to us what happened to the colonial collection? It seems somewhat depleted.
But, most likely maintenance work, tidying up.
You're not sure, then? But you're the Deputy Director.
Well, I am busy. I cannot be everywhere at once.
Right, that's suspicious. Keys.
Mr. Hamish, can you tell us who holds the keys to the locked greenhouses?
That would be Albert, Mr. Dunn's son. Yes, Albert keeps all the keys, and one can only imagine why.
What do you mean?
Well, he was never interested in Kew Gardens before, and now all of a sudden he's trying to act as if he owns the place. I think he wants to take over the management here. He'd do better to leave that to me. He has no experience. No, none at all.
Okay. So are you a bit pissed off, and that's why you're treating him the way you are? Okay. So Albert Dunn. So what is your opinion on Albert Dunn?
Albert as a student of botany?
He's useless. I often tell him so, and I can only give him cleaning tasks. Botany is not his life's work, and his father well knew it. He was furious about it.
He was?
Oh yes. He forced his son to work here, and he never missed an opportunity to criticize him publicly.
Are you able to elaborate on that?
Well, for example, with our last exhibition here, Mr. Dunn had Albert make a presentation speech. But then, while the lad was speaking, Mr. Dunn interrupted him, asking him difficult questions, making him look like a failure. It was with the intention of making a fool of him, Mr. Holmes.
That must have been terribly humiliating.
Yes, he was crushed, and he had to leave. Everybody was making fun of poor Albert. That is, except for Miss Margaret White, who is such a nice lady and who always takes pity on Albert.
Margaret White. So, what can you tell me about Margaret White?
You mentioned a Miss White. Would you tell us more about her?
She is a student who works here part-time. She is quite charming indeed. She possesses a great talent for botany. You should take a look at some of her experiments that she carried out in the laboratory. Ah, if only she were not so naive.
Why naive?
The way she used to flutter around Mr. Montague Dunn. And why, he couldn't help but be flattered by all her attention. How could an intelligent woman such as Miss White not see through his game? I can only scratch my head and wonder.
Right, okay. So let's talk about these lethal plants.
Tell me, Mr. Hamish, do you grow the more deadly variety of plant here?
You mean insectivorous? Yes, but nothing larger than that.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Okay, so let's go and get the keys off Albert. I believe Albert was in here. Yep, there he is. So Colonial collection emptied.
We noticed that a part of the colonial collection has been cleared.
Ah. At the moment, I'm just dealing with the storage room. I don't know much about the other rooms.
Okay. So this is kind of opened up a little bit more then. So it would appear that Hamish didn't really have a good relationship with your man. Albert was constantly belittled and bullied by his dad as well. Well, rumours say. Let's see what he says now.
That your relationship with your father may have been a strained one.
Yes. I cannot say that he was a kind man, for he never listened to me at all. He forced me to work here. But now, after his death, I've been pondering it over. Perhaps he wasn't so wrong about me after all. I have to follow his path, and I have to manage Kew Gardens, and I can do it. I can be as good as any other who works here.
Okay. So it looks like we got technically two suspects at the moment. We've got Albert, we got Hamish, and then you can maybe say there was an accident. That he kind of locked himself in there with a poisonous plant, but then that wouldn't explain why it's been cleared out or whatever. Miss White, what can you tell me about her?
Margaret White?
Ah, she is the young lady who studies with me. She visits here sometimes to help out with the greenhouses. In fact, she should be here today. She wanted to work at the seed house. That's the small greenhouse across from the large glass house.
Okay. What can you tell me about Martin Hamish?
Would you please tell us about Martin Hamish, the deputy director?
Well, I have to tell you that Mr. Hamish is not and has never been the deputy director of Kew Gardens. My father would not have tolerated it.
Indeed? That is most interesting. He told us that he was.
Yes, because he believes that the management should be passed down to him now that my father is dead. But in actual fact, Mr. Hamish only has the honour of being the garden's longest-serving employee. In fact, if we are to think logically at all, it should be me who takes over the management of Kew Gardens.
Do you not have a good relationship with Mr. Hamish?
I suppose so. But we have very little in common. Mr. Hamish loves his plants and Kew Gardens, and I cannot say that I share his passion.
I see. And how was his relationship with your father?
Oh, he hated my father. It was obvious. He would be furious whenever my father boasted of Kew Gardens in the newspapers or at conferences. He was convinced that my father was stealing all of the credit for himself. But my father treated Mr. Hamish in the same way as he treated anyone. Dismissively. With indifference.
Okay. The door keys.
Do you hold the keys to all of these locked doors?
Yes, you can have them. But I cannot give you the keys to the cloakroom. The employees' effects are private. I am sure you understand.
Thank you, young man.
Okay.
We shall see you again soon.
We've got to go and talk to Margaret White. So we could have a look in here. Right, so this is the director's room. Got the safe. Photograph. Okay, so let's have a look in.
A photograph of Montague Dunn and Reynold Hamish.
Okay. Photograph there, director's desk. Let's see what's on here. So we've got the Times.
Newspapers discussing Kew Gardens.
Okay, so the Kew Gardens team are pleased to announce a successful production of a new variety of barley, one that contains the complete resistance to the cold. They have named it the Siberian barley. Mr. Martin Hamish, the proud cultivator of the graft, will hold a press conference next Monday morning upon this very subject. Okay. We've got a letter here. Let's see what the letter says. So, my dearest Margaret, following our last conversation, I believe it might be better if you vacate your position here at Kew Gardens. As you pointed out quite bluntly, you are no longer in need of my support. You are quite able to stand up for yourself in this world, as you say. Well, I give you back your freedom and wish you nothing but good luck, Montague Dunn. Okay. Some more stuff on here that we could probably look at. No, there is not. Okay, champagne.
Champagne. Montague Dunn had good taste.
Okay, and then we got some wine
French
here.
wine. A remarkable vintage.
Right. So, can we? Okay. Okay, so it's got to be... Okay, so 2 to the left, 2 to the right. 3, 2 left, 2 right, 3. So we've got 2 to the left, 2 to the right, 3 to the left. Okay, so it's 2, 2, 3, 3, 2. Idiot. 2, 2. 3. 3. And then... So it's 5, 2, 3, 5. Okay, cool. Let's see what we got in here in the director's safe. So we've got some letters here. So let's see what the letters say. So, my dear friend, please allow me to express my disappointment upon reading your last letter. I am paying you to defend me, not to accuse me. Kew Gardens is a royal institution. We are granted the great opportunity to travel the world and to save the most extraordinary, precious and rare species of plants. Our duty is to protect such species from those who might wish to use them for dubious purposes. This divine syndicate of whom you speak have no right to hold such precious plants. Remember the case of June 14th, 1889. So that's something that we can probably look at a little bit later on at home. So I must respectfully ask you once again to notarise the permission of these plants on behalf of Kew Gardens. The documents were sent to you on Monday. P.S. See you in Boodles on Tuesday as always. Montague Dunn. Okay, so letter of complaint. Let's see what the letter of complaint's got. So, Mr. Dunn, we must ask you for the last time for the return of our dear sisters. You do not have any right to hold them imprisoned. They do not belong to you. Your so-called permissions are wholly false. You are hiding behind lies. The lie we need not elaborate. That was reported in the press as the case of June 14th, 1889. So that was what was said earlier. What you have done is quite abhorrent. Abhorrent? Yep. Be very sure that we shall never abandon our family members. We trusted you and regret having done so. The Divine Syndicate. Okie dokie. We've just got this letter down here now.
I suggest that we don't tell Miss Margaret White about this document.
Okay, so debt to Miss Margaret White of Miss Margaret White to Mr. Montague Dunn, rental of a suite of rooms at Oxford Street, an educational scholarship at London University, credits opened at Hamilton, Radigan House Tailors at the Bard and Sons, luxury jewellers. Okay, so maybe not mention that to Margaret Dunn. I don't think there's anything else in here that we can kind of look at. We've got the champagne, we've got these pictures on the wall which don't really mean anything. We've got the photograph there. Been in there. Let's go out of here. Okie dokie. Right. Let's have a look in here. Ooh, right. Okay, so it's table of experiments.
This is a table for experiments. It resembles my own.
Only this one is kept in good order, Holmes.
Right, give me a phonograph.
Phonograph used for voice recording. Remarkable.
Yes, this is quite a modern laboratory.
Okay, so we got 245 cylinder, and let's use cylinder and turn the handle.
It seems clear from these multiple experiments that plants to respond to their environment and have a form of consciousness. Margaret White, February 1895. Report number 245.
Study report.
Okay, so what about the 821?
Martin Hamish's perception of plants. The notion of communication in the plant world has long been considered marginal, yet I remain convinced that some plants do indeed transmit chemical signals in the event of attack.
A study report by Martin Hamish.
Okay. Chemistry bottles.
Chemicals. A sufficient quantity for some serious experiments.
Right. University book. Right, let's have a...
Botany book. A botany book.
Right, Albert Dunn.
This student's book belongs to Albert.
Okay. Because what I'm hoping for is... Oh, we can't get in here, can we?
Locked.
Yeah, we can't get into the
Holmes,
cloakroom.
Albert Dunn didn't give us the key to this door.
Yeah, I know.
It does not matter. We will open it.
Yeah, we will. Right, okay, so... Let's have a look. We've got... Right, okay, so... What are we linking? Not that. You know what? Let's rotate the whole thing. Right, now let's get to this. Move that like that. That seems all correct. Now let's move this down. This. Ah, right, okay. Okay, this has just opened it up a little bit more, I think. Right. I need to push this back. I think. Right, let's do this. And then... I rotate the whole thing now. That does that. Bring that across. Bring that over. Through there like that. There we go.
Open.
Okay, so let's have a look at people's belongings. Okay, Albert, what you got? What you got?
Albert's locker.
Construction of
Specialist
yachts.
articles on shipyards and ship construction. Albert Dunn has a great passion for shipbuilding and the sea.
Okie dokie. We got the letter, refusal letter.
A rejection letter from the British Royal Naval College.
Okay, so Royal Navy School of NCO's Recruitment Centre, London. Sir, it is my regret to inform you that despite your excellent results within our entry examinations, we are unable to invite you into the Royal Navy School. Your father, Mr. Montague Dunn, has expressed his intentions to entrust you with the directorship of the Royal Botanical Gardens in Kew, and it is clear that he would not release you for an entire year of naval training. Please accept all our best wishes for your future at Kew Gardens. Yours very faithfully, J.M. Lemarchand, Director of the Royal Navy Training Centre. Okie dokie. Right, okay, so you got this there. Anything here? Oh, we got a photograph.
Young Albert, standing with a woman in front of London University.
Okie dokie. So let's have a look at Martin Hamish's
Martin
stuff.
Hamish's locker.
Okay, so we got a photograph here. Let's flip it round. Father and
Kew
I.
Gardens.
Okay. What we got here?
Martin Hamish studied chemistry. Interesting.
That is interesting. Mr. General Secretary, recent events unfolding at Kew Gardens oblige me to renew my application for the management position. As I have stated already in my previous letters, I believe that no one is better suited for the post. While Mr. Montague Dunn was alive, I understood your reservation to my suggestion. Your reasons were political, and so I was happy to comply. But now the Kew Gardens lie in disorder. How can I stand by and allow it? How can I leave them in the hands of an inexperienced people with no motivation? I must urge you to cast your decision as a matter of urgency so that I may devote myself entirely to the noble task ahead and free my mind from this uncertainty. Okay.
A review on rare and exotic plants. Martin Hamish has written several pieces.
Okay. Then we got Miss White's locker. So let's see what she's got going on here. So we've got a jewellery box. Let's see what's in here.
These jewels must be worth a small fortune.
Okay. We've got a hat, a diploma.
Apparently, Miss White is a capable student. A draft of the letter that Miss White sent to her parents.
So, dear mother and father, I am writing this letter with reluctance to ask for your help. My studies and the housing costs have proven to be more expensive than I anticipated. I fear, therefore, that I may not be able to manage in the long term. I know that we have had disagreements in the past, but would you be so heartless as to allow your daughter to fail her studies due to lack of money? Margaret. Okay. Then we got a vanity purse here.
A vanity purse. It is of high quality.
Let's have a little butcher's. Let's see what's in here. Letter. So, Margaret, we are surprised to receive your letter. How could you think to ask us for money after all these years that have passed since you left, and without any thought of us? You have never shared with us any detail of your success at the university, but you choose to do so now. We suppose you must be ashamed. We suppose you must be ashamed of us. We are not from the same high class as your new friends. Yes, we are modest. We are modest people, but you should learn to put your family first, as we at home have always done, and none of us have ever compromised their reputation, as it appears you have already with your employer, Mr. Dunn. No, Margaret, it is you who makes us feel ashamed. Your parents. Ooh, okay. And there's a letter here. So, dear Margaret, I know that your financial troubles are overwhelming you at this present time. Please allow me to reassure you that I could not permit you to remain in such a dilemma. I was born of a wealthy family. I would consider it an honour if you might accept my help. Your devoted servant, Albert. Okay. Interesting. So, does Albert have a thing for Margaret White? Let's see what's going on here. Laboratory table. Wet bottle trace.
There was a bottle here. It left behind a trace of the substance that pervaded the laboratory.
We've got drops.
Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around.
Okay, and then we've got gold dust.
Good heavens. What's it doing here?
The gold is almost immune to chemical attacks, so it may be a valuable auxiliary for various experiments.
But why would anyone perform such experiments in a botanical garden?
Anything else?
Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around. The bottle is no longer here, but it is possible to detect a faint scent.
We need Toby!
A good nose.
We need Toby! Fetch Toby. Right. Let us go to Baker Street. Let us get our trusty little dog, Toby. Give me a Toby.
Come on, Toby. We have some work for you to do. Let us go to Kew Gardens.
Okay. Kew Gardens with Toby. Yeah, this bit does jitter a bit, doesn't it? I don't know if it's like because it's like trying to load and it's...
Let us take Toby to the laboratory. He will pick up the scent of this mysterious substance.
It shouldn't be the case just because it's loading. I've
Search,
never really
Toby.
noticed it.
Search.
Right, Toby, let's go. Is it Toby? You open the door. What happens if we go up to you, boy? Nothing. Okay. Not a dog person. Okay, yeah, we've not been around here yet. Dog. Yes, dog. Oh, Miss Hidden Place. Let's have a look. What you got going on?
Congratulations, Toby. Now let us see what you have found.
Ooh.
This is the bottle that was used in the laboratory. It was buried here. There is still some liquid remaining in the bottle, with gold flakes. A tiny caterpillar. Not surprising to see one in a garden, but at the bottom of a bottle.
Do we take that to...
Brave Toby. The best nose in the British Empire.
Fetch Toby, yep. Okay, so do we go back to Baker Street and check what's inside? I imagine so, but let's go talk to Margaret White first, which I believe she was in... Was it the nursery she was in?
These young plants must be delicate if they are kept in the nursery.
Okay. Martin Hamish's
thesis
book.
written by Martin Hamish.
Okay. Going over there.
A glasses case. It is empty. This area serves as Martin Hamish's office.
Okay. Window. No, we didn't go through the window.
This poster is for an exhibition that Martin Hamish was directing, but it had nothing to do with Kew Gardens. This certificate belongs to Martin Hamish. He won a horticultural competition.
Okay. Let's look at the window.
We can see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room from this window.
That's interesting. Oh, diplomas.
An award presented to Martin Hamish for Best Grower of the Year.
Okay.
A master's degree diploma. It belongs to Martin Hamish.
It's a grower, not a shower. Watson is not blocking anything. That's fine. Actually, let's have a little look around in here a little bit more, just in case. I don't think there is anything else. No, I don't think there's anything else in here that we can really look at. That's fine. All right, let's go to... Ooh.
It is a bust of Montague Dunn.
And we got the chip in the head, which is the stone which we found in that...
I am curious if the marble that we found will fit this place.
All right.
Here it is. The marble fragment that we found in the Colonial Collection Room is what they have in common.
Right, that's interesting to know.
The seeds of plant species are stored here.
Okay. So there is a lot of checking around in this case at the moment. I mean, there's far more kind of to inspect in this one than in the last case. Right, we needed to go to... Was it the seed house? Yes, it was.
Seed house.
Hello, Margaret. Oh, I thought the game froze then.
Good day to you, miss. You have some very beautiful plants here.
Why, thank you, sir. And good day to you, too. But...
Oh, I do beg your pardon. My name is Dr. John Watson. This is my good friend, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
I am honored to make your acquaintance, gentlemen. My name is Margaret White. Excuse me, but are you Sherlock Holmes, the great detective?
Yes, I am he.
What a pleasure to see you here at Kew Gardens. Are you working on a case?
Yeah, let's have a little mooch. So, expensive perfume. Nothing with the eyes. Nothing going on here. Okay. We've got pink marks. Poor family. And then we've got unmarried. Okay. So, theft of plants.
Yes, a theft of plants that took place here a few days ago after their most recent exhibition.
Oh, yes, of course. I quite forgot about that.
Oh, okay. What can you tell me about the incident?
Oh, it's quite understandable that you might forget about the theft of the plants, miss, after the tragedy that took place here.
Yes. The director was a truly good man. It is such a terrible misfortune.
Okay, so this is a thing now. This is a bit... She said he was a good man. Everyone else has said that he's a bit of a knobhead. So, so do you work here?
Do you work here?
Part-time only.
Mm-hmm.
I am a biology student at the London University. I attend the same classes as the son of Mr. Montague Dunn. That is how I found my chance to work here for part of my thesis, you see. It is a great honor.
Okay, so what's your relationship with the director?
How well did you know Mr. Montague Dunn?
He was a master, a great leader. I saw him almost as a spiritual father.
He had an exceptional nature?
Oh yes, indeed. He was always so active and so optimistic and very nice to me. Although he could behave harshly towards his son.
Mm-hmm.
Why so?
He loved his son dearly and wanted the very best for him. It made him extremely demanding. Albert, who is naturally shy, suffered because of it.
Okay, so we knew that he had an eye for the ladies, so I think that's probably why he was like so nice to her. So was there any kind of relationship with him? How did you get in?
Most of the doors in Kew Gardens are locked. Do you have a key to this room?
Oh, yes. Albert gave me a set of duplicate keys. He agreed I might carry out my studies without disturbing him. It is only temporary.
Okay. So what can you tell me about the emptied colonial collection?
Would you happen to know why part of the colonial collection was cleared?
No, I have never been there.
Thank you, miss.
Okay.
None of the 3 people who work at Kew Gardens know why half of the colonial collection was cleared. So, someone is lying. It is obvious.
Right, okay. Let's have a little look around here. So, got... They look like seeds there. Nothing really... Oh, we've got the window. Work desk. Let's have a look.
Materials for college study. They belong to Albert. A book about ships. Nothing at all to do with plants.
Okie
These
dokie.
leather gloves are new and of good quality. They do not appear to have been used. This place serves as Albert's office.
Yeah. Okay.
From here, we are unable to see the interior of the colonial collection room.
Right, good to know. Is there anything else going on in here? I don't think so. So obviously there's 3 suspects at the moment. We don't know who. Let's open this. Let's have a look at this generator.
A ventilation system. It should regulate the temperature of the staff buildings.
Yeah.
A water tank.
Anything around here? I don't think so. So we got. Where are we now? We are over here. We've got the dry tropics here.
What should we do next, Holmes?
Right. So find out who killed. Find the plant that was used to kill. So if we go to this, we can go to marble fragment picked up from the floor of the colonial collection room. Judging by its form and refinement, it's probably the part of the statue of the sculpture. Maybe let's go and talk to... I mean, where was it found? It was found, I believe, in the room next to... like in that room there, which is Hamish's office. So maybe let's go and talk to him. See if there's anything he can tell us. So Kew Gardens.
Mr. Hamish, was someone from your family connected with Kew Gardens?
Family? No. I'm the only one with a passion for botany.
That's wrong. Because you got a photograph of your father.
I do not think so. This photograph of you and your father at Kew Gardens suggests the opposite.
But you have no right to.
Do tell us more about your father.
He was, indeed, the greatest botanist of his time in the British Empire. He worked together with Montague Dunn until the end of his life. He brought me in at the age of 12.
Did he get on well with Mr. Dunn?
No, I couldn't say that. They expanded Kew Gardens together, that was all. And it was all my father's work, for Dunn always lived the high life.
So Mr. Dunn was not helping your father?
Oh yes, he provided the financial support. And as far as he was concerned, that fulfilled his role. But the worst of it was, he declared himself as the master of Kew Gardens. Fame meant nothing to my father. So it was easy for Mr. Dunn to take all the credit.
Okay, so we've got something there.
There is a bust of Montague Dunn in the nursery.
A bust? Oh, that old thing. Further proof of that outrageous ego of his.
But why in that room in particular?
Oh, I don't know. It has always been there.
What? So why was there a fragment of the statue in
It is strange.
the
because
Colonial
I recovered
Collection?
a fragment of the bust inside the Colonial Collection room.
Really? Oh, well, so I am mistaken. It ought to have been removed during the cleanup. This room is so small.
Do you know who moved it?
I have no idea. Surely Mr. Dunn requested it. Do you have any more questions like this? Because fragments of rock are not my responsibility.
Evidently.
Hmm.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Right, so we've done that now. So we can go and talk to Albert. We're going to talk to Albert now and see what he's got to say about him going to the Navy. Dream of entering the Navy?
I perceive that you are passionate about the Royal Navy.
Passionate? No, not really. I like ships, that is all.
That's
Are
wrong.
you quite sure? You do not seem to be so interested in plants.
It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else.
That's a lie. So you've got a... Not that, but we've got Albert's hopes.
And yet I know that the Royal Naval College rejected your application.
Ah, you truly are as clever as they say. Yes, that's correct. And in fact, my father was strongly against the idea. He did his best to ruin my plans, although I almost did succeed. But my dreams were shattered, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, young man.
Okay.
We shall see you again soon.
So we've caught 2 people out in the lie. So we got to go back to Baker Street now, just so we can go and investigate some of the stuff that happened on, I believe it was June the 14th. Was it 1885? I think it was. I'm not going to look at my deductions yet because I don't want to make any assumptions. We got this letter, which was from the previous case, which we don't really need to read. Yep, that's the Abbey Grange. We don't need to read that. Right, so let's have a look at the research, what we got going on. So we've got the stolen plants. We got chemistry, poisons and toxins. Let's have a look at this.
That is not the one I
There.
need.
Hemlock seeds.
That is not
Nope. Wounds and injuries. So it's not that. Newspapers. Technology, history, medicine, botany. Here we go. Exotic plants, volume 4, poisonous. So these plants have a certain toxicity in common, more or less variable. I'm not going to try and read any of these because I'll absolutely bodge them. So we've got, yes, that. We've got that. We've got this. We've got everything, I believe. No, it's not lazy. It's saving your ears. That's what it is. Having to listen to me try and pronounce any of that. It's not happening. Only the first 3 can be dangerous to humans, particularly Florem diabolica, and only under very specific conditions. The plant should react to the process of aggression, against which it will ensue deadly spores.
Here it is.
Okay. So let's search for the symbol on the bottom. So it does look like, I don't want to say, obviously I don't know Chinese, Japanese, I don't know the symbol. It means divine, if I'm not mistaken. Broken flower pot in the backyard. History, ancient Greece, no. Medicine, no. Botany, no. Newspapers and research. I don't think it's research at all. Marks. Okay, the Divine Syndicate. So the Divine Scholastic Syndicate for Vegetation Veneration. The members of this syndicate worship Triwan, the God King. They strive to obtain spiritual peace and release themselves from the material world, so generous donations are appreciated.
Here it is. The Divine Syndicate is not a supplier to Kew Gardens. Besides, there is no address here.
Okay, so let's have a look at the symbol here. So the symbol of the flower pots found in Kew Gardens, the pots did not belong here. So it's an S. Research. It's going to be... It's not this. Medicine, no. Technology, no. I don't believe it's in the newspapers. Marks and symbols, religious symbols, skull and crossbones. It's not. London Garden Supplies. Seymour's Garden Equipment and Supplies. We are a premium supplier for all your landscape, gardening and timber requirements. Full range supply and delivery of sand, soils, mulches, pots and anything else that you may need. 3 Blurton Road, London.
Here it is.
That's a place we can go and visit then. And then we got the case in June 1914, 1989. It wasn't 85, it was not 89. Newspapers in 1889. And then we've got the Naval Defence Act, the scandal, and at the Divine Syndicate. So the Divine Syndicate Club followers of the God King Triwan situated on 48 Grosvenor Street, Carleton Road. Protectors of plants and more particularly trees are currently the subject of the administrative investigation. The leaders of the organisation are suspected of financial malfeasance. It may be that this investigation will lead to charges of judiciary. Meanwhile, many voices have risen high against the inspection, denouncing the state. In fact, the private organisation, which have given as its goal the defence and protection of nature, and which incorporates many persons of influence, including political representatives of the opposition party. Okay.
Here it is.
So we've got two new addresses
And
now.
here is the Divine Syndicate's address. Perfect. It is time to find out what they have against Montague Dunn.
Okay. Okie dokie. Don't know what that's from. Right. And there's also something else we can look at as well. We can look at... This is a... We can go and talk to someone about that, which I think we might go and do anyway. And then let's go and analyse this
Let us
unknown
determine
substance.
just what we have found here. Let us pour liquid from the bottle into a test tube to perform an analysis.
Okay.
This is the bottle that we found hidden at Kew Gardens. Let us use a pipette to take a sample of the liquid and fill a test tube.
Okay. Pipette. Right, take a tube.
A colourless, water-based liquid.
Okie dokie. Does it smell of?
Quite a strong floral aroma.
Holmes? What are you doing?
It has a bitter taste.
What if it's poisonous?
Did you ever see poison stored in enormous jars like that? Anyway, there is a doctor nearby.
So what do you think it is?
It is some kind of organic compound. Let us vaporize the liquid and see what happens.
Okay. So I imagine this gives off some fumes.
Small colourless crystals. Colourless, tiny crystals that are soluble in water, with a floral smell and a bitter taste. Watson, could you pass me that small bottle, please?
Of course. Here you are. Holmes, do you know what it is?
Wagner's reagent. There was a label on the bottle that you passed to me.
No, Holmes, I meant the bottle that we found.
Let me add the reagent and see if there is any sediment, and then I shall tell you. I need to take a pipette.
Right, okay.
I need to take a pipette.
I've done it.
I need to take a...
Okay. And then drop it into that. Test tube.
Red sediment, just as I suspected. This liquid is of organic origin. It contains some alkaloid. Most likely it is unstable, and that is why there is a quantity of gold dust to prevent contamination. This mixture is probably a fertilizer. Someone was carrying out unusual experiments in the garden's laboratory.
Okie dokie. Right, let's go to... Let us go to Kew Gardens, and we're going to go talk to Hamish about the icon underneath. Right. Cool. Right, let's go and talk to your boy. The Divine Syndicate.
Are you aware of the Divine Syndicate?
The Divine what? Is this a joke?
No, I am quite serious.
What a ridiculous name. Anyway, I have never heard of this syndicate.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay. Is there... Right, let's go and talk to Albert about it. The Divine Syndicate?
Tell me, have you ever heard of the Divine Syndicate?
No, I cannot say that I have.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Okay, let's go and talk to... What's her name now? I can't remember her name. The wench. I will just say the wench. Seed House. Margaret White. That's it. The Divine Syndicate?
The Divine Syndicate. Does that name mean anything to you, by any chance?
Not at all. But it is a very pretty name.
Okay.
Thank you, miss.
Okay. So let us go to... On the map, we've got the Divine Syndicate's location here. Right, let's continue. So, at the moment, I haven't...
This place is beautiful, Holmes.
Oh, hello. This is
Its
nice.
atmosphere is remarkably soothing.
Let us find someone who could help us.
Yeah, at the moment I haven't really got a conclusion in my head who I think it is. Maybe Hamish is standing out for me at the moment. Hello.
Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock.
I am exalting the sap. A while can you wait? From the trace of elements and moreover from the quality of the ambient geotropism it depends. Therefore, please, mind my gravitropism. Its balance. Do not disturb.
Disturbed is most definitely the word.
There. Completed is the symbiosis. Welcomed you are. To introduce myself, I am the Green Grand Mystic.
The Green Grand Mystic himself.
This is me. Who am I speaking to?
We are two gentlemen who are extremely interested in the vegetation philosophy that is advocated by this establishment.
Listening to you, I am.
Alright, fucking Yoda. Look around.
We should like to take a look around, to immerse ourselves in the wisdom that emanates from here.
It is a school of anastomosis, the divine scholastic syndicate for vegetation veneration and meditation.
Okay.
You may say, the divine syndicate. Glory to the eukaryotic. Only true devotees, those whose hearts are ready to spermatophize in sharing of knowledge, are permitted to physically enter our vegetable kingdom and its wisdom. And to be permitted, you must earn it. Yes.
Oh, well, let's have a... I didn't even do this, so let's... You've got a tattoo. You've got fingertip calluses. And you've got a... what looks like a burn. Chemical practice. Okay. Your pots, maybe?
We visited Kew Gardens, and we found your symbols on their flower
Probably shouldn't have done that.
Coincidence, I am thinking. They would scavenge our refuse. It would not surprise me.
It was merely an observation.
Okay.
Green Grand Mystic, we are ready to become devotees and gain access to your temple.
What is the name of our Lord, our God King?
For one.
Our God King's name is Trewan, Green Grand Mystic.
Hola, good, I like you. Here is the holy key to the wisdom place. Holy donation can you make whenever you so wish.
Thank you so much.
Gotta fix the roof.
I pray you to taste our fertilizer substance. From the burdens of life it helps to free.
But of course.
Raw sap, it is called. It is near the entrance.
Okay.
Well, we will leave you to your meditation.
What we got? A pot piece over here.
A fragment of a flower pot.
Okay. Let me fucking. There we go.
Fragment
piece.
of a flower pot. It fell down here.
Nothing above. What's this covering? Like this.
The Kew Gardens.
Ooh. Interesting. Nothing at the moment now. So we're going to go in and drink some of this sap. How do they make a tree do that? Right, let's have a... Yeah, in we go. Yeah, he's got the fucking greatest showman in here. Drugs table.
That should be the raw sap that the Green Grand Mystic spoke of.
Is this the same? Oh,
It is rather delicious and of an excellent quality.
My word, Holmes. Their sap is like a form of cocaine.
It is
My word. My word.
let's get fucked up.
it is rather delicious and of an excellent quality.
My word.
I wonder if you've done it like a few more, like number of times. Like your character just like passes out. One more.
My
Okay, cool. That's enough drugs for today.
Osmosis and photosynthesis. You
Oh,
praise the grand tree. Praise it.
This must be Trewan, the Divine Syndicate's god.
okay. A bit trippy in here. What's going on this tree? Nothing.
This door is locked, but I can try to open it.
With your man there. Okay. Right, so let's first get the line on the left. Bring this over, so we've got this line here. Now this around. That's there. No. Can I move this? surely I should be able to move it. Oh, you can move that bit. Aha, right, okay. Right. Is it this? I don't think so. Right, not that. Looks like it's this though. In you go. No, this isn't right. Right. Right, that's right. And it does this, does that, goes all the way around, bring this in, if you want to. No, it's not that. Does that fit? Yeah. And then bring you around. Is that correct? No. Okay, so this is a tough one. Right, it's close. Let's work our way from this. Ah, there we go. I think that guy's like just so high that he doesn't realise that we're doing it. Like, we just spent 5 minutes trying to unlock
These
that door.
instruments are used for smoking opium.
What's going on here? Got an alkaloid.
This substance is an alkaloid, the same as in the bottle we found in the bushes at Kew Gardens. This cabinet is full of chemicals. They are the same as the ones we found in the laboratory at Kew Gardens. That would be enough to perform the most difficult of chemical experiments.
Right then. Opium.
A vast amount of opium.
We've got. Oh, what was that? Oh, that's just the opium. Right. So, is there anything else we can look at while we're in here? I don't think so. No, we don't. Okay. Heard a dog. Oh, there's a door here. Cage.
Caterpillars. They are raised as food for certain plants. Let's take them.
Okay. Cage. We got. Look, the same.
Plant. Nothing of interest. A tropical plant. Nothing of interest.
Isn't that the same? I don't know. It's not really. That was the same plant we found in the fire.
A tropical plant. Nothing of interest. A tropical plant. Nothing of interest.
Okay.
A tropical plant. Nothing of interest.
Okay.
A tropical plant. Nothing of interest.
Tropical plant. Nothing of interest. Let's have a look in here.
These 3 plants are identical to the ones shown at the exhibition. I shall take them.
Yeah, so it's this one, the Florum diabolica. Is there anything else going on in here? Kew Garden symbol found in the divine. Okay, so maybe let's go and talk to this guy over here. The this Master Yoda. Do you know the Kew Gardens?
Do you have friends at Kew Gardens?
None. Not worthy there.
Then why?
Nevertheless, we have seen Kew Gardens flower pots in your yard. How could they happen to be there?
What? Our sacred place you permitted yourself to search. Sacrilege.
No, really now. There was a theft of plants at Kew Gardens a matter of days ago, and we believe the pots we found here may be connected with it. Please tell us, were you involved?
No. Those plants were ours. They had stolen them from us.
How so?
Their director, Dump, I believe.
Done.
Dump.
Yes, that's it. He borrowed from us 3 of our sisters for the exhibition at his green fly-infested gardens. But he never gave them back to us. Excuses and imbecility. So we went in and saved them.
I see. So, if you stole those rare plants from them, then it means... Ah, I get it. Bravo, Holmes. I think the case is solved.
No, we did not steal.
Prince
We
Dump.
saved.
That's
Well,
me.
as a matter of fact, we were unable to find our 3 plants.
I beg your pardon. And yet, you took all of the exotic plants from the stand.
They had disappeared. It was the least we could do. They stole our sisters, and so we stole theirs.
Well, we will leave you to your meditation.
Okay. Right, let us go to Kew Gardens again. Because we still don't know where the stuff in that room went. Yeah, we still don't know. Let's go and talk to you, boy.
Just be careful with the plants during your inspection.
Excuse me, but I have to tidy up this room.
Okay. So, does that mean we're... So we haven't found the plant that killed Mr. Montague Dunn. We haven't found that yet. Let's look at our deductions. We have got quite a lot. So it's like, what's connecting all these things together? Well, like which two go together? So we got Hamish's anger, Albert's ambition. We got these two together. So Martin Hamish had a motive. He believed that he and his father lives. He and his father's lives have been ruined by Dunn, who had taken the credit for all of their work. Hamish wished to take over the directorship of Kew Gardens, but he knew that it was not possible with Dunn still alive. So we knew this. We've got White studies and poisoning. No. We've got maybe suspicious ingredients? No. Maybe suspicious ingredients and poisoning. Yes. So set up an experiment. Set up an alkaloid from the chemical laboratory and the caterpillars and perform the experiment with the deadly plants. So we've got to do that. So experiment with the deadly plants. And then White studies and maybe no. No. Okay. What we're going to do? We're going to go and do this. We're going to go and do this experiment.
Perfect, Watson. We can begin our experiment.
Right. So let us go to Baker Street. Been an interesting. Been an interesting case. Really has. Yeah, I've enjoyed this one. Now we're sitting on about 5:30, so right, let's do this experiment if we can.
I imagine that one of these plants would be capable of releasing a toxic vapor. I need to find out exactly how it could be done. I shall begin now. Watson, if you are at all optimistic to have dinner this evening, then I'd recommend that you put on the gas mask.
Okay. So, Florum Diabolica, that was the one that kind of stood out first. Right, that
It
opened.
appears to open after being soaked with alkaloid.
Okay. That goes in.
This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with alkaloid.
And that goes in as well.
This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with alkaloid.
Okay. Oh, shit.
It closed again. I believe I saw a small cloud of gas. I wonder what secrets this plant is hiding. Perhaps if we agitate it to a greater extent whilst it is opened, it will reveal a little more.
Okay, so maybe...
This plant seems...
What about this one? Okay, so that does that. And then, what about this? That's just going to munch. Right, okay.
I find the behavior of predators utterly fascinating.
Okay, so... Maybe if we open this up...
It appears to open after being soaked with alkaloid. This plant seems to have had no reaction from the caterpillars. This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with alkaloid.
Okay, so take a pin. What does this do? That goes in.
It appears to have fallen inactive. It closed again. I believe I saw a small cloud of gas. I wonder what secrets this plant is hiding. Perhaps if we agitate it to a greater extent whilst it is opened, it will reveal a little more.
Okay. So let's open it up again with the alkaloid.
It appears to open.
Got a pin there. Maybe. I put that on there. There we go.
Toxic gas with spores. Extraordinary.
Okay. Right, that makes sense, yeah.
The plants would be capable of killing only if they were directly next to the victim and stimulated at precisely the right moment.
Let us take our caterpillars to the Colonial Collection Room. We may see things more clearly there.
Yeah.
It is too early, Watson. Our suspects will be there. Let us investigate Kew Gardens one more time and ask some questions.
Okay. Cool. Alright, so let's continue our investigation at Kew Gardens. Yeah, it's not been bad, this hasn't. I'm still like... thinking like, who could it be? And my first thought's Hamish. Okay, before Dunn's death.
Can you tell me if you saw Mr. Montague Dunn on the day of his death?
Yes, of course. I met him, and we went to see Albert, his son, at around 9:30. He appeared quite calm.
Your activity at that morning?
What were you doing on the morning of the accident?
After paying multiple visits to Albert, I had a little talk with Miss White. Then I returned to my desk to complete some paperwork. Suddenly, I observed that Mr. Dunn was not feeling well, so I ran immediately to fetch Albert. I clearly remember that it was around 10:30, for I was late that morning.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Okay, what can you tell me about it? Day of Dunn's death.
Your father's death does seem highly suspicious. What were your movements here on that day?
Suspicious. Well, I was working in the seed house, taking care of something, or Lear Pontus, or... No, wait. These Latin names. And I spent so many hours trying to memorize them.
Did you see your father that day?
Yes. He came here with Mr. Hamish for his weekly visit. There was nothing unusual about that.
And then?
Nothing. They stepped out to the backyard. It was perhaps 20 minutes before 10 o'clock. Then about 10 minutes later, I saw my father heading for the dry tropics room while Mr. Hamish returned here.
Okay.
And Mr. Hamish and Miss White, what were they both doing that morning?
Mr. Hamish visited me a couple of times. I also saw him returning from talking with Miss White, and that was at 10 minutes past 10. But then he ran back here to me to tell me that my father was feeling unwell. We hurried across to the water lily room, and I found my father lying dead on the floor. Oh my God.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Right then. Yeah, I'm really not sure about this one. Like what I said in the last stream, there's always something that kind of makes it stand out. Where there's always something that will. So, for example, you've got 3 or 4 suspects. There'll be a piece of evidence that will prove someone to be innocent, in a way. So, I'm just trying to think what that is. Day of death.
Can you tell me what Mr. Dunn was doing upon the day of his death?
I can, but there is nothing very special to say. I was in the laboratory when I saw Mr. Dunn heading towards me. Tuesday is the day of his weekly visit. It was supposed to be at 9, but he was 10 minutes late, as usual.
And then?
Well, he came in to say good morning. Then I saw him spend 2 or 3 minutes by the plants outside the laboratory. After that, he ran out in the direction of the nursery, where Mr. Hamish was working. He was always in a rush during the inspection, you see. I would pity anyone who stood in his way.
Time of his death.
And that was the last time you saw him?
Yes. I stayed in the laboratory until 20 minutes to 11, when I heard the cries of Albert and Mr. Hamish from the large glass house.
I joined them as soon as I could, for I knew that something must be very wrong.
What exactly were you doing in the laboratory?
I was recording an experiment for my thesis. I only stopped my work once when Mr. Hamish visited me briefly around 10 o'clock.
You say you were recording an experiment when the tragedy occurred. Might I listen to the roll?
Certainly. Please do. You will find it in the laboratory. It is number 320.
Thank you, miss.
Everyone has gone, Holmes. The way is clear.
Okay. Escaping the room. Yep. So that was locked. Is there anything else? Oh. Was there nothing there? Nope. So the vent was opened. He couldn't get out.
When Montague Dunn was standing close by the plants, the caterpillars were released and caused the deadly spores to activate. Panicking, and likely already half asphyxiated, Montague Dunn started back and knocked over the bust. He rushed to the door, but it was locked. He had to force it open with his shoulder. We already know the outcome. Montague Dunn collapsed and died not far from the pool. Well, it is time to perform our experiment on the ventilation system.
Okay, so we've got to go to the vent. Which, you know what? You could be right. Actually, I think it could be her because.
According to this, they have.
Oh, the thing that's closest, the place that's closest to the ventilation system, is the seeding garden, like the seed room. I think. Yeah, the seed house. So,
First of all, I need to visit the Colonial Collection Room to see how those caterpillars dropped onto the deadly plants.
oh fuck. Okay, I've got to go all the way back. Yeah. So the caterpillars were dropped from the ventilation system onto the plants, which caused the plants to react the way they did. Now, the only person with a like knowledge, a working knowledge on how to do that would be her. I don't think it's Albert. What was that then? I thought the ladder was someone. I've just run all the way through there and I've realised I've got to go all the way back. Nope. So let's look at the vent system. Oh.
Water.
Okay.
The caterpillars can only fall from the ventilation duct. Our caterpillars are in place. I'll activate the ventilation system so that they fall down. Watson, stay here and observe.
All right, Holmes.
Is there like a path where you can? I mean, I know I can go that way, but oh, so you got the ventilation system going that way into that room. So let's have a quick look. Through there.
This is one of the outlets of the ventilation system.
Okay. Right, through here. Cross through there. Got another one here. Can't use that at the moment. But maybe we're going to use the levers to see if any of them are open. So we're going to...
The power is on. The engine cannot be started whilst the transmission is active.
Right, okay.
The engine has started. The ventilation system is working.
Right, so is it spinning? No, it's not.
Excellent. This ventilation fan is working. Let us see if I can activate the other one.
Through here. Oh, you can't move. There we go. This one here.
Perfect. Now I just need to find Watson to check the result.
We're going to walk in. He's just going to be covered, isn't he?
It works perfectly. Bravo. Now, if you could just help me to get rid of these caterpillars.
Perfect. Now we know how the murder of Montague Dunn was carried out. by activating both Albert's and Mr. Hamish's fans.
But only from Mr. Hamish's workplace would it be possible to see when Montague Dunn entered the Colonial Collection Room.
Yeah. So, and that's above Hamish's office. Or right above his workplace.
We can see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room from this window.
So, we've got Albert's humiliation and ambition. So Albert's motive, Albert had a motive to kill his father, Montague Dunn. Dunn had thwarted Albert's dream of joining the Royal Navy by killing his father. Albert could have his revenge and eventually succeed in his father's place as the director of Kew Gardens. We've got poisoning and ventilation used? No. Poisoning and deadly precision? No. Deadly precision and that. So, Hamish's opportunity. Martin Hamish had the opportunity to stimulate the deadly plants in the Colonial Collection Room. As a biologist, he would have understood the technicality of how to do this. Interesting. Miss White's family refused to assist her financially with her studies. They disliked Montague Dunn, believing him to be a libertine. Albert Dunn had promised to continue his family's support. It's not that. White and Dunn. So, White's situation, Margaret White's studies and social situation were completely dependent on Montague Dunn's wealth. Deadly precision. Not that. I didn't want to do that. Dunn and White. The money that Montague Dunn regularly gave to Miss White far exceeded the needs of a student. Right. Miss White and Mr. Dunn had a recent disagreement. Montague Dunn was planning to release Miss White from her position at Kew Gardens. Deadly precision, deadly plant stolen, and the Divine Syndicate thieves. So, here we got a choice now. So the Divine Syndicate stole all the plants from the exhibition, including the deadly species. They could have used them in order to murder Montague Dunn. The Divine Syndicate stole all but the deadly plants from the exhibition. Sorry. It does look like they stole everything, though. Deadly plants stolen. Deadly position. Albert's ambition. No. Deadly plants stolen and missing deadly plants. No. No. Poisoning. Poisoning and... There's this one. Okay. So theft and murder. The killer has, may Maybe those who stole the fucking idiot, exotic plants, including the deadly species from the last expedition of Kew Gardens. Right. So, the Syndicate killed Dunn. There's that. There's Albert's ambition. White studies? No? Deadly precision. Okay. So, Albert's lack of experience. So, Albert is not very good at botany. It is doubtful that he could have learned how the plants might have released the deadly spores. Albert had a biological knowledge to stimulate the deadly plants. I think he didn't have the knowledge to do that. I don't think he has that. I mean, he could be playing dumb. Don't think that's the case. Right, deadly precision. So, the Divine Syndicate left the plants at Kew Gardens in order to murder Montague Dunn at a later date. Or sect not involved. Someone stole the deadly plants before the Divine Syndicate were able to. So, if we said that... that goes against Hamish's opportunity. These two have got to go together now. Well, they should. Yep. So it lacks White's lack of experience. The knowledge Miss White acquired at the university might not be enough to guarantee the correct reaction of the deadly plants. Or White's knowledge, Miss White had a biological knowledge to stimulate the dead. Yeah, so that seems like she did as well. Now, if we said not involved, so Hamish is guilty. Martin Hamish could be the killer. He had the opportunity to steal the Divine Syndicate's plants and stimulate them from his workplace directly after he had locked Montague Dunn inside the Colonial Collection Room. So then there's this, which effect to arrest Martin Hamish. Ooh. So technically, like we can do that, and it doesn't end it. I think. Hello there, thanks for the follow. Yeah, we could do that then.
Let's go to Scotland Yard.
Ooh. Yeah, let's go to Scotland Yard. Ooh. Right, so this is just opened up a little bit. Yeah, I'm doing good, thank you. How are you? Oh, Christ. So, do we talk to Lestrade now? Yeah, let's talk to Lestrade. Let's see if you can go and arrest
Inspector,
Hamish.
I believe that Martin Hamish is guilty of the murder of Montague Dunn.
Aha! I knew it. I'll send the lads around to arrest him.
Very good. I shall wait to hear from you.
So I don't think this is the full-on conclusion. I don't think it's the full-on conclusion of the case.
Inspector, I came here as quickly as I could.
Martin Hamish is in the large glass house. There's no need to hurry.
Right, so... Now this is the thing, right. The large glass house. Is it in here?
Holmes, my God!
Okay.
We found him like that.
Our messing around with the ventilation system didn't go unnoticed. Mr. Hamish realized that we knew.
Inspector, could you arrange the body, please? I should like to examine it.
That's a curveball. Right, let's have a look at the body. So, we've got
The mark around the neck is very visible. He died instantly.
Right, let's have a look at this. Let's see what the letter says. So, life has become a living hell. I find it unbearable. Dunn deserved to die, and I cannot forgive myself for having his blood upon my hands. We Hamishes seem to have always fallen victim to our circumstances, and I find myself to be no exception. I must atone, and I shall do so, here and now. Farewell. So it was him then. Let's check his feet. Left
Holmes,
foot.
his left shoe is unique. This anomaly is often a characteristic of...
A club foot. Bravo, Watson. That is the key element of this case.
Ooh. Could be a setup. Yeah, it could be a setup. At the moment, Med, not at the moment, but maybe in the future. Maybe in the future. So I'm just starting to get back into things at the moment. So, yeah, not at the current time. Right, Inspector Watson. Right, it was a club foot. Right. No, not at the moment. Not at the moment. I say I'm not in the market for that at the moment, but I may do in the future. May do in the future. No, thanks very much though. Thanks very much, and yeah, I appreciate it. Right, what are we doing? Find this. Right, we should go and talk to these now, I think. Because we've got our clubfoot and Hamish's confession. Bringing this together. Martin Hamish was unable to run due to his trivial torsion on his clubfoot. Therefore, we should find out if he had sufficient time to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room and activate the ventilation system. Did he have an accomplice? Discuss with Lestrade the possible impact of new clues found in the body of Martin Hamish. Okay, so talk to Lestrade. Okay.
Something about this rings very oddly.
Why do you say that, Mr. Holmes?
Why? Because of Mr. Hamish's club foot. Oh, I deserve to be kicked from here to Charing Cross. I should have noticed it.
But, Mr. Holmes, I can't see why.
No, I don't suppose you do. You must recall that Mr. Dunn was locked inside the Colonial Collection Room by the murderer. If it was Mr. Hamish, he would have had to run up to his workplace to trigger the fan situated above it, taking into consideration the condition of his foot.
Well, it is still possible.
Perhaps, but it is rather strange that such a person as Mr. Hamish decided to base his plan on the speed of his gait.
You mean to say that somebody helped him?
So the suicide is questionable?
Correct. Mr. Hamish accuses only himself in his letter, and so the investigation stops.
Possibly an accomplice, then? That idea had not occurred to me, Mr. Holmes.
I have another idea, Inspector. Thanks to the testimony that we have collected, we are able to rebuild the events as they took place that day.
With a timeline, such as we did in the Jack the Ripper case.
Precisely.
The map at the entrance of Kew Gardens should help us with our timeline.
Okay.
Let us analyze the facts and statements so that we may recreate the events of that morning.
Right, so... Oh... Well, I don't know. I don't know. Right, okay, so... So go to the map. So we've got oh shit. So went to meet Albert in the Seed House around 9:30. So Martin and Montague Dunn went to meet Albert. Albert meets Montague Dunn at the Seed House around 9:30. Right. We've got... It's around 20 minutes to 10 when Hamish and Montague went out to the backyard, which was this. Martin Hamish had a conversation with Miss White at 10 o'clock. So after 10 minutes, Dunn recommended his inspection and entered the dry tropics room. Martin Hamish had a conversation with Miss White at 10 o'clock. Miss White was in the laboratory for until 10:40. When she saw Hamish and Albert in the water lily greenhouse and joined them there. Hamish ran to Albert as soon as he observed Montague was unwell, which was around 10:30. Right, so let's... Okay. Well, I don't want to skip it because I'm gonna... I will accidentally press space. If we play the events... So next, looks like we've got... Martin Hamish returns to the Seed House. Miss White is talking to Martin Hamish in the laboratory. Miss White is talking with Martin Hamish in the laboratory, so maybe that was then. That. Because she says that Miss White was in the laboratory until 10:40. Let's just say that for the moment. I don't think it's correct. Alright, so that's correct for the moment. So now we've got, bring these down. Martin Hamish had a conversation with Miss White at 10 o'clock. That. Albert saw returning from visiting. Martin Hamish returns to the seed house. He's poisoned. That. Does that play out? No. Had a conversation with Miss White at 10 o'clock. So does that not play out? No. Okay. I don't know this. This is a bit tough. Maybe this. No. Maybe this is incorrect. Yeah, I think it was around 20 minutes to 10. So okay, let's just go back. So it was around 20 minutes to 10 when Hamish and Montague Dunn went out to the backyard. After 10 minutes, Recommended his inspector enter the dry tropics room. Hamish returned to the seed house. That. Yeah. Okay, so we know this now. So now you're talking to them. So now here Hamish is it this? No, it couldn't be. It couldn't. Could it? Hmm. Okay. I don't think it's all that bunched into that. No, it's not. So that does that. Here's poison there. And that maybe? No, okay. So that doesn't go there. It could be this. No, so this. Aha! Yes.
Let us summarize. Montague Dunn was poisoned inside the Colonial Collection Room. He forced open the door, which means that someone locked him inside there at 10:20. Martin Hamish was last seen at 10:10. This means that he has approximately 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room. Given that he was club-footed, it is doubtful. Albert also has 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room, which is quite enough time. Miss White was last seen at 10 o'clock, which means that she had approximately 20 minutes to lock the door. More than enough time.
Ooh.
Perfect, Watson. Now, let us ascertain who assisted Martin Hamish in killing Montague Dunn.
Where is Lestrade? Oh, Lestrade's in there, isn't he?
Holmes, don't look at me like that. I don't know what to think about all this.
Right, so let's go to our deductions here. So Albert's timeline, White's timeline, Hamish's timeline. So White had time. White had 20 minutes. It would have been enough to trap Montague Dunn. She could have locked the door and alerted Martin Hamish to activate the ventilation system. And then Albert's time and Hamish's time, they didn't have enough time. Albert was not involved. So Martin, Hamish and Albert are not accomplices. It is unlikely that Albert would have had the opportunity, and 10 minutes would not have been enough to lock the door of the colonial collection room. Which, putting those together, says that White is an accomplice. There's no clues left. I believe that's everything. So, we've got conclusions. We've got that conclusion. These two conclusions here. We go to... Albert had time. That contradicts these two. So White was not involved. And that brings to Albert is an accomplice. So looking at this now, you can kind of... We've got three conclusions. See, White's knowledge goes against Hamish's opportunity. So... But if I said White had time, and Albert didn't have time, would me saying that White's knowledge contradict it? It does. So really, this doesn't really make no difference. So, there's three conclusions so far that we can think of. I don't think there's anything else that we can kind of look at. There's either the sect to say that it was them, which argument's sake, let's just say the sect was involved. That goes against that. And say sect stole everything. See, now I think if I just go to conclusions and I say this, we actually can't do that now. We can't say the syndicate killed Dunn. So it's got to be one of these two. I think this is like an ending you get if you don't pursue it further. So it's either Albert is an accomplice, the sect's not involved, if we said this, so that does that. So we definitely can't do that now. So let's say White is an accomplice. So I think it's even between these two. Out of both of them, it seems like White is the obvious one. So I think we have to go for her. She's got one. She had more than enough time. She was going to get sacked from the gardens. She has a knowledge of biology. So I think it's got to be her. I think if we do, yeah, if we go with that. If we go with that, I think that's what we're going to end with. I don't think there's anything else that we're missing. The only thing that doesn't really make sense to me, though... Well, in fact, actually... Yeah, Albert doesn't really have the experience. So I think we can definitely rule Albert out. I think it's annoying for Hamish that Albert's trying to like staying gone to work there. He was hoping that he would leave, and then yeah, so it's got to be White. It's got to be. So we're gonna say this, and we're gonna condemn. Miss White is a dangerous woman, very capable of carrying out an elaborate murder for monetary gain. She flirted with Dunn's son Albert and later pushed Martin Hamish to his suicide. She deserves the rope. I'm going to say this one. And we're going to condemn her. We're going to look at the other ones afterwards. We're going to look at the different endings with Albert being the accomplice. But we will, whatever, if we're right or wrong, this is the way we're going to go. So we're locking that in. Yes, confirm your moral choice. Let's have a look. And we might have a quick time event with this as well, so... There was something actually, I probably should have looked to see if there was any further things we can do in terms of the evidence that we got, but I don't think there is.
But Holmes, how can you be certain that we'll find Miss White here?
It is obvious, Watson. Just use your brain.
I am using it. I do use it.
Now that the rope has tightened around Martin Hamish, Miss White must act to erase all traces of her implication. After the suicide of her accomplice, there is one final trace remaining, the deadly plants of the Divine Syndicate. She will be there.
Very good. Shall we go?
Just one moment. Now listen to me, Watson. I shall see her alone. You will conceal yourself behind her, quietly.
Whatever are you planning?
Nothing spectacular. The impulses of women have always been a mystery to me. But she is a bold one, and so we must be cautious.
All right. You can count on me, Holmes.
Mr. Holmes, good day to you.
You do not seem surprised, Miss White.
Well, I was expecting you.
Not for too long, I believe. So please tell me, as it is still unclear, who planned the murder? Was it you?
You were wrong, Mr. Holmes.
It was Martin Hamish, then. You managed to convince him to take on a more prominent role.
You could not be further from the truth.
You think that you can fool me?
You don't care what I think.
It is difficult to care about someone who is capable of pushing a man to his suicide. It is over, Miss White. The police will be here any minute.
Ooh.
Over, perhaps. One moment you were here, and the next, you were on the other side.
The other side? No! Stop!
Oh, quick time.
I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't come any closer.
Please remain calm. We can help you.
Not one step further. Don't try to stop me.
Stop this foolishness. You cannot truly want to die.
No, it's too late.
Fuck!
This is tragic, Holmes.
Are you able to do anything?
I'm afraid not. The poison has been fulgurating. Her heart stopped instantly, poor child.
Right. So, I'm going to replay that ending. I'm going to get the clicks done then, because it was on it, and I just thought I had more time. I was like, right, am I good? But it was just so quick. Right, continue. B. Yes. So, condemn. Cool.
But Holmes, how can you be
Right, I'm going to skip through a lot of this. Okay.
Mr. Holmes.
Can I skip? Yes, I can skip through this.
The other side.
Right, here we go.
I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't come any closer.
Step forward.
Please remain calm. We can help you.
Not one step further. Don't try to stop me.
Stop this foolishness. You cannot truly want to die.
No, it's too late.
Right, be quick, be quick, be quick. There we go. Oh. Oh, this the
Well
red
done,
that red
Watson.
circle was like
She was not faking.
I don't know if it's because I'm colorblind or
Miss
whatever,
White,
but
you have no right to take your own life.
Dr. Watson? Did you just save me? Or worse?
oh, okay. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna check to see if the conclusion was correct. Was it not red? Don't do this to me, man. Right? Is it? White was the accomplice. So we got that correct. So that was correct then. That's good. We got all clues found as well, so that's good. So we're gonna replay the ending. We're gonna get Albert as the accomplice. We can't check the ending for the Divine Syndicate, unfortunately, because we've got some deductions which conflict with it, which is fine. I think that was kind of like a bit of a curveball to you, because if it comes up with that, then it's kind of like saying, "Oh, you're at the end of the case now." So you go, "Oh, okay, so I'm going to do that." But I just realised I've got to do the quick time event again as well. So conclusions, we got Albert as an accomplice. Condemn. Here we go.
What happened, Inspector?
It's all over now, lad. There is no use denying it. We know that you murdered your father. Patricide by plant poisoning. Very alliterative.
What? You're mad. I didn't do it. I don't know anything about botany. No!
Yep, so if we look at this, it will say Albert is an accomplice, and it's red, so we know that's not right. So we're going to accept, no. Yeah, so we're going to go through that cutscene again, just to get it done. And then that will be the end of the stream today, which has been fun. 3-hour stream, not bad. It has been longer than the stream yesterday. Yesterday's yesterday's one wasn't actually too bad. As in the speed. Yeah, we did get through it quite quickly. Right, so conclusion: White is an accomplice. Right, we're gonna condemn. Yes. going to do this thing again. I'm just going to skip through all the dialogue. No, in fact, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm going to let it play through again. I love that he's reading the book of what we're currently doing. No, it's like he's studying the case whilst he's on the move. I think that's quite a nice little touch.
But Holmes, how can you be certain that we'll find Miss White here?
It is obvious, Watson. Just use your brain.
I am using it. I do use it.
Now that the rope has tightened around Martin Hamish, Miss White must act to erase all traces of her implication. After the suicide of her accomplice, there is one final trace remaining. The deadly plants of the Divine Syndicate. She will be there.
Very good. Shall we go?
Just one moment. Now listen to me, Watson. I shall see her alone. You will conceal yourself behind her, quietly.
Whatever are you planning?
Nothing spectacular. The impulses of women have always been a mystery to me. But she is a bold one, and so we must be cautious.
All right. You can count on me, Holmes.
Mr. Holmes, good day to you.
You do not seem surprised, Miss White.
Well, I was expecting you.
Not for too long, I believe. So please tell me, as it is still unclear, who planned the murder? Was it you?
You were wrong, Mr. Holmes.
It was Martin Hamish, then. You managed to convince him to take on a more prominent role.
You could not be further from the truth.
You think that you can fool me?
You don't care what I think.
It is difficult to care about someone who is capable of pushing a man to his suicide. It is over, Miss White. The police will be here any minute.
Over, perhaps. One moment you were here, and the next, you were on the other side.
The other side? No! Stop!
Step forward.
I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't come any closer.
Please remain calm. We can help you.
Not one step further. Don't try to stop me.
Stop this foolishness. You cannot truly want to die.
No, it's too late.
Here we go. Fuck! I didn't click it. I want to say I clicked it. I didn't click it. I was too hesitant. Right, let's do that again. Alright, fuck going through all the dialogue again. I'm not doing that again. It's so quick. So quick. Right. Let's do this again. See, that's this thing why I can't really do first-person shooters anymore, especially like online, because I just do not have. I've got the reaction time of Sid the Sloth.
But Holmes, how can you be certain?
Alright, let's go through all this.
Mr. Hurt.
I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't come any closer.
Please Please.
I mean, I could
remain
just
calm.
skip, but
can help you.
I'm not gonna.
Not one step further. Don't try to stop me.
Right.
Stop this foolishness. You cannot truly want to die.
If I don't do this time,
It's too late.
she's dead. And click. Why couldn't I do that before?
Well done, Watson. She was not faking.
Miss White, you have no right to take your own life.
Dr. Watson? Did you just save me? Or worse?
Oh, there we go. So yes, so we done it. 22 clues found. The right conclusion. So we're going to accept the decision. And you're about to finish the case. Yes. Personality ranking, severe judge. So what that, I believe what that means is, it's how you, when you choose to condemn or absolve, it depends on your, it depends on how you want to do it. Do you want to like let them get away with it if you feel like their reasoning is just, or and I think for most of the time I'm always condemning, because it's like it's what you should really do. There we go, the Half Moon Walk. So this is the last case. Obviously I'm not going to be doing that now. I'm going to say continue, and then I'm going to quickly,
Where are you going?
nope, and that. So that was the case 5. I believe there is only one more. It should be only one more case. But that was good. That was fun. It was a longer stream than usual. So yeah, but I hope people enjoyed it. I definitely did. So yeah, so I think the next stream will be, I want to say Saturday, and I'm going to finish this up on Saturday. And then because I've been able to, like, I've had yesterday, today, and then I've got Saturday off, so I'm in work tomorrow. That's when I've been able to put these streams out. In terms of like the schedule, there isn't no set schedule for streams. It's just like depends if I'm on a morning shift or afternoon shift. It doesn't it at the moment it doesn't really, there's no set schedule. So what I'm gonna do is, I don't know if there's gonna be like announcements or whatever, like, or like a weekly schedule to say this is what I'm gonna do during this week. I think that might be a good idea, putting it on my Discord just to say, like, you know, this week I'm doing this and that or whatever. So yeah, I might start doing that. I might start doing that after I've completed this, which should be on Saturday. And I don't know what I'll be going on to then. It might be Alan Wake. It could be a fresh start with U-Boat, but with U-Boat I do want to kind of give it a trial run off stream, just to kind of get to grips with all the new stuff, because I don't know what's there at the moment. I don't know how they've changed things, but yeah, I'll let people know anyway in the Discord. But yeah, it was fun. I'm gonna just all of that. I'll just put Discord in here for anyone who is interested. If it does come through, nope, it doesn't come through there. It doesn't matter. Yeah, so yeah, I will see everyone hopefully Saturday. Thanks for everyone who dropped in and said hello and stuff. I will catch everyone again on Saturday for the final case in Sherlock Holmes. I think complete the game. Half Moon case. Yeah, so there is 6 cases. I've just looked here and it says the achievement reached 6 correct conclusions in all 6 cases. So there is only one more. So yeah, we will we will do that on Saturday. So yeah, thanks again everyone. appreciate it all. And I'll catch everyone very, very soon. So I hope you have a good evening, and I will see you all next time. So thank you very much. Have a good night. Take care now, and bye bye.